When we heard that Martin won the Nobel Peace Prize, he was in St. Joseph's Hospital, downtown Atlanta. I went down there immediately, and he was saying when Coretta had called him and told him about it, he thought he was dreaming.
A month later, J. Edgar Hoover comes out of nowhere saying that Dr. King is the most notorious liar in the country. That made the front pages, and that phrase came out, but it was a long diatribe on what a nasty person, and if I could only tell you how nasty he is.
Dr. King believed deeply in what he was about, what the movement was about. So for someone to say he was the most notorious liar was simply deeply hurtful. And I know that he was wounded by that.
When I called Dr. King in Atlanta and tried to set up a meeting between the two men, he did not respond to my calls. He waited 3, 4, 5 days, and finally I got a call from Andrew Young.
It was Andy, myself, Dr. King. Ralph was with us as well. We went to the FBI office. It turned out to be a rather amusing meeting because we had come to have him explain to us why he would go public and say that Dr. King was the most notorious liar in the country. And he never addressed the question. He just took us through a little lecture on what the FBI is trying to do and how they're trying to protect the rights of all citizens. Yeah. But the bottom line is that he was our leader, and it was his strength that enabled us to respond to those kinds of things.
I have had the opportunity to meet with Mr. Hoover this afternoon, and I might say that the discussion was quite amicable.
It was a real signal of pressure from the FBI. On the other hand, the Nobel Peace Prize was an inspiration to him because, as a sign that the message of the civil rights movement was a message for the whole world.
Oh, day, yonder come day, oh, day, yonder come day now, oh, day, yonder come day, day is broke in my soul, yonder come day, oh, come on day, yonder come day now.
I bring you greetings from many, many Americans of goodwill, Negro and white, who are committed to the struggle for brotherhood and to the crusade for world peace.
This Nobel Peace Prize seemed to vindicate the controversial nature of his leadership. He had been right. He criticized violence at every level. He was right. He criticized hatred at every level. He was right. The Nobel Peace Prize said he was right. He was right. And so we were overjoyed. Martin was glad and appreciative, but he didn't shout for joy. He took it in stride.
I accept this award today with an abiding faith in America and an audacious faith in the future of mankind. I have the audacity to believe that peoples everywhere can have 3 meals a day for their bodies, education and culture for their minds, and dignity, equality, and freedom for their spirits. This award is a profound recognition that nonviolence is the answer to the crucial political and moral questions of our time. The need for man to overcome oppression and violence without resorting to violence and oppression.
Once Dr. King left Oslo with the Nobel Peace Prize, he came back with a sense that we had a higher calling. Not only acting for the rights of African Americans in the United States, but for people of goodwill all over the world.
It is without question that King did not seek greatness. He did not seek that award. And he didn't see the award for himself. He saw the award for the movement. That's why he gave all the money away. He would not keep it for himself.
As an icon of the movement and the nonviolent movement, it was appropriate for him to say, this is not a tribute to me, this is a tribute to the movement, all the money should go to the movement. But as a father of 4 children, he doesn't have any money in the family, he's not making provision, he's getting death threats every day. He didn't even have a will, and that put him under a lot of tension.
I'm taking good care of this check.
Reverend Abernathy insists that he looks at it about every 3 or 4 hours to make sure it's there.
This check is made out in Swedish kronas, 273,000. And I understand, crowns rather, and I understand that in our money this comes to about $54,600. And as I said, every penny of this money will go to the civil rights movement, and I think you have a statement about how it will be divided.
Dr. King, is that why Reuters had a story that said that you were coming home with a bodyguard?
Oh, well, that, no, I don't think, I didn't know I had a bodyguard. I've never traveled with a bodyguard.
It's a wife.
And, yeah, other than my wife. Did you get it?
We went to the president to talk about where we go from here because we wanted a Voting Rights Act. And I'll never forget Johnson suggesting this. Look, man, you got to give the white people a rest here in this country. You know, you've gone so far, and we've got to give them a chance to catch up. So let's not go for voting rights.
He had already resolved to go to Selma, and it's when he's trying to work forward to get a commitment to go to Selma and work for the right to vote that Coretta calls, because she's opened this package at home that had a letter telling him to look into his evil heart. You know what you must do.
They had wiretapped certain instances in which Martin King had on limited times been with women who were not his wife. But that's what the FBI had.
This is a heart-stabbing moment from I don't know how many different directions, beginning with the fact that his own wife opens it. And what the tape is it has compilations of bugging materials of King in compromising situations privately in various different places. So this really is a low moment. And I think where Dr. King comes out of this, and you hear it in the sermons as well as anyone else, I've never held myself up to be a great model, but I have to do the best I can to try to redeem myself and America through the witness of this movement.
What strain has it meant for your wife and your children to have a husband and father who is a revolutionary, ending up in jail, being in danger of his life very often?
Well, it has been difficult. There has been a great deal of personal strain brought in our family as a result of this. We live every day under a great deal of tension because there are still those individuals who desperately oppose us and what we're trying